I didn't know anything about him before Kamala selected him as vice president, and everybody seems to like him. They said even all the soft, they're like, oh, he's an example of a modern day, I guess, masculine man because he was
a moderate Democrat or something like that.
I guess because he was like a soldier and then he was a teacher.
Yeah, he had like two of them that he had was coached to. One of them was John Randall, former defensive tackle for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
They spoke on his behalf at the DNC.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, so it looks like, they said supportive Democrats are saying he's a model of masculinity for modern America, a man comfortable reporting to a woman, capable of using his white privilege to boost women of color and promote reproductive rights, while also enjoying hunting, fishing, and fixing cars. So it says Republicans are challenging his military record economic policies in support of left-leaning social movements and ideas, including women, LGBTQ issues, and Trump's senior advisor Stephen Miller nicknamed him Tampon Tim.
Why would anybody?
Yes.
Why would anybody listen to Stephen Miller? Now, if anybody remember, he helped constructed a travel ban for Muslims, Africans. If you was non-white,
Stephen Miller, he's a horrible person.
Yeah, from Duke.
Oh, he went to Duke.
Yeah, he went to Duke.
Oh, that's where he learned evil at.
No,
no.
But it just goes to show people, like, just look at the people that's around Trump.
Yeah.
That's telling you how shit is going to be. You know what I'm saying? And remember, Project 2025, look, it was so serious that they removed the dude that was head of that shit. When all they do is replace him with somebody that's less viewable that you might not know about unless you do some Google research, which a lot of people don't do. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just look at the people that's around Trump. That's going to tell you how this shit going to be. And like I said, Stephen Miller, we did that, travel ban. So, yeah.
So let me ask y'all a question. What do you think is worse or funnier? Who has the better VP? Would it be the one who this is their own president beforehand, or the one who can answer to the woman and uplift the white man?
Well, no, Walz is the better VP.
Uplift the black woman.
Regardless of Stephen Miller's background,
which he's only, mind you, he's just part of his cabinet.
Yeah.
So let's get that straight.
Tampon Tim is hilarious.
That's hilarious to me, though. That shit just sounds funny.
I'm sorry, that's hilarious. Yeah, so he got the name as governor, writing a law that requires schools to supply pads, tampons, and other products for all menstruating students in restrooms. Language meant to include trans students. So,
I ain't gonna touch that.
Well, that's why he's putting tampons in men's bathrooms. So, I guess trans boys, because that's who would use those bathrooms, would be in there and have tampons available.
Babylon.
Yeah,
but they don't. You know.
God, I'm glad I didn't grow up in this area. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not growing up.
Nigga, they would have sent me home. I'd have been expelled, spanked by my parents.
I can't imagine my dad trying to maneuver with me in this climate. Not with him being in not a military man. You know what I mean?
Like what?
Could you imagine that just in elementary school, a dude run in and he's like, yo, I gotta change my pad, man.
Ain't none of that.
In high school.
Ain't none of that popped up. I'm like, all right, I get it for all the girls and stuff, but
it's in the
boys' bathroom, like, you know, like.
And imagine if they run out of tampons in the girls' bathroom.
They gotta come in.
They gotta come in the boys' bathroom and get them.
Like, what is it? Like, okay, so this is where this is like, again, do what you do. All right, however you live, but you gotta understand that. You do affect people around you, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? It does, because number one, you know, we all know, man, this ain't even up for debate. We all know a boy is a boy, a girl is a girl. That's your genetic material. You know what I'm saying? Yes, is there a small percentage? Yes, a small percentage. That is correct. But majority of them is just you just not battle test. It's like when we came up, you know what I'm saying? I guess a lot of y'all motherfuckers wouldn't even survive our childhood.
No, not now.
We had to learn to crack jokes on each other. You know what I'm saying? And if you didn't crack jokes on them, then you just cried. You know what I'm saying? Then you might fight. Then you fight.
And you better hope you can fight.
Yeah,
If you
better
can't
hope
fight,
you
you about to
fight,
get
you know?
bullied.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
man.
But see, and that was another thing. And if you got a damn sister and brothers and stuff like that, and then the whole
But that's
clan
where the school
comes.
shooter
Yeah,
came
that's
from.
the whole clan
That's
comes.
where the school shooter comes
Right.
from.
Imagine if they had the internet right now. We didn't have that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The internet is a whole different beast. So the thing about it is, it's like, I have a friend of mine.
I
Right?
wonder what they would have used it for.
Who?
I wonder what my parents' generation, if they had the internet first, what they would have used it for.
You know what? Yeah, I would agree
Every
with that.
generation
I
is
think-
using
I
the
think-
internet
I
for
think-
that.
I think our generation used it for. Like, what did our? What would our
They
parents-
would have
They
too.
would have too.
You know, because listen,
They had
man,
VHS
realistic-
tape. Okay, well, that discussion on Tim Walz brought up another point that some people were discussing on the internet, and that is, would Walz make a better president than Kamala Harris?
Why? Because he's a white man.
No, basically, based on the previously
On his
mentioned
merits.
descriptions of
You know what?
military,
This-
teacher.
and uplifting black women. This is what I. Okay,
That should be an American in general. That doesn't.
Yeah, it
that's
doesn't
not a
matter.
Standout.
right.
That doesn't.
It don't have. It's nothing that pops out like, okay, yeah, he automatically would be different than her. She would be better than her.
Well, they both have white spouses.
Yeah, but he has an all white family. She don't.
Yeah. His father isn't from
She's
Jamaica.
more an example of the American
Melting pot.
for a nigga, like the melting pot that America has become.
Exactly.
She really like her. I mean, it just is what it is, yo. You know what I mean? You can hate on this black woman all you want, yo, but
She's blackity black. Blackity black. If you got one smidget, 1 ounce, 1% of black, you black. It's only two dominant colors on the spectrum:
Yes.
white
Yes.
or black.
Yes.
That's it. Everybody else
Is in between.
in between. That's facts.
Yeah.
Don't argue with me. I'm just a messenger.
Oh. Okay.